Buenas noches. Right, not a late one tonight, okay? In and out of the shed today, and I left an apple 3-4 hours ago. There was some sunlight as well on it. Look at that. There was no way when I was a kid that I'd be able to leave any kind of apple like that without it going brown and being covered in flies. No flies were near it, and it doesn't seem to have deteriorated much. I just remember people saying something about Macca's food that does that as well. We don't. I tell the kids, don't do it. Royal horseradish. Week 2 max ago, anybody who follows this awesome content, right, there was claims of a European robin, that these people caught European robins in the bush, in the forest in Europe, and they caught them and put them in these cages or something, and then put magnets everywhere to see if they'd fly off on a tangent or something, to see if they were, it was something to do with electromagnetic guidance system that lets them know where north is, right? And they didn't know. But it's BS, right? It's obviously a lie, because nobody catches robins, European robins in Europe. And the way they said it, I've just found a spin-off of it. Like I listened to 30 seconds and stopped, so I do not know what's coming, right? But honestly, right? I put my life on it, because the story of the robins in the last one, it's impossible. Nobody goes out and captures loads and loads. We're talking loads, right? To do all these experiments with magnets because of big crystals in their beaks or something. Oh, it's just the horseradish. For me, it's very, very obvious, okay? Sometimes people are lying, but they don't know that they're lying, if you know what I mean. Like, you know someone's lying, but they don't know they're lying. Like, they've been taught something, like the speed of light, for example. And they teach it, not realizing that. But some people are lying and they know they're lying, okay? I can tell, honestly, right? Now, listen to this royal horseradish. Honestly, I'm not going to show the faces, just listen. I honestly, I listened to about, not even a minute, and I thought, this is the one. This is the one for just 10 minutes.
It also happens in the animal kingdom. So, something called quantum biology. So I've heard that some birds use quantum mechanics in order to navigate when they're migrating.
So we think. I mean, I should say quite clearly that we don't yet have the experimental confirmation that this is what happens, but it does seem to be the case. This is the only theory in town that explains what happens. So I should first of all say quantum biology is basically the idea that life has evolved the ability to make use of the quantum world in a way that inanimate matter doesn't do. So it's not saying we are made of atoms and atoms behave quantum mechanically, and of course quantum mechanics plays a role in life. That goes without saying. You know, that some of these ideas, like quantum entanglement, they might play a role in life. It was known since the 1970s that certain animals, birds, marine mammals and so on, can sense the Earth's magnetic field. And even that in itself is weird. You know, how can something as weak as the Earth's magnetic field affect an organism's chemistry? It's one thing sticking you into an MRI scanner, that's a very powerful magnetic field, but the Earth's magnetic field is very weak. But these animals seem to have evolved a chemical compass of some form. And at the moment, the current theory suggests that, well, first of all, we believe this compass is based somewhere in the animal's retina. So So the European robin is the classic example that uses magnetoreception. As it's flying, light enters the retina, it hits one of a pair of entangled electrons. So they're both two electrons sitting on one atom. They're entangled in the sense that one is spinning one way, the other one has to be spinning in the opposite direction. The photon comes in, knocks an electron off the atom. They're now still sitting within this protein called cryptochrome, but they're not on the same atom anymore. They're quantum entangled. That means their spins are still correlated. They're still interconnected in some way. And the way these two electrons spin is very sensitive to the orientation of the bird in the Earth's magnetic field, and so the Earth's magnetic field can be sensed by the bird through these entangled electrons, and that sort of cascades a signal through to the bird's brain that tells it what direction to fly. So
I'm going to call it there because
migrate.
that is my cue to just tell these people to shut up. Oh, I hope people are waking up. Later, peeps.